Hi Virgos, welcome to your April 2018 readings. I'm having some technology issues. And I was hoping I wasn't because I was thinking okay, well, I got to get this done before Mercury retrograde. We are in the shadow period though, because it is about to start. Because I do tend to have a lot of technology issues with Mercury retrograde. I have a Virgo rising, and in my chart, my Mercury is retrograde, which so usually I get a lot of information and clarity around Mercury retrograde, but I do have a lot of technology issues. It's freezing, so hopefully it's good. I'm getting the April ones out now because I had a really busy March, and if I try to do Marches, I'm just going to fall behind, and it's going to be impossible for me to get caught up here with work and school, and this is a hobby, so hopefully everybody's doing well. I'm going to do these readings a little bit differently. I am going to go back to one of the original ways I did it. I do enjoy focusing more on a overall energy with relationships and family, because I do enjoy trying to help things come together and heal. But for some reason, I just feel like this is the way it's got to be done this month. So we're gonna try to cover what you need to know, show, and grow, because I feel like those things are important. So what you need to know is, and I thought when the card flipped, I thought how fitting for Virgo. It is, I am patient. Okay. You have uniting and coming together. I'm using different decks here as well. And you have the Four of Pentacles. Then you have, for what you need to show is, I am vulnerable. I also thought this was fitting for Virgo. We have conflict, challenges, and possible limitations. It's a pretty intense card, eh? And there's nothing to worry about with that card because you have the High Priestess underneath it. You have I am calm, taking risks, new phases, and adventures. And we got this energy in one of your, I believe the last reading I did for you guys. And you have the Two of Cups here. Okay, so Virgos, what you need to know is, okay, you're quite patient with others. You are patient with others. That's a given with Virgos. Okay, but the problem, if there's a problem here, it's somebody's holding on to communication that could probably fix the situation. So for all of you, it'll be different, right? This is a general reading. It's going to vary. It could also be, okay, for those of you that are interested in somebody or they're interested in you, what's going to prohibit that from coming together is the sense of somebody's holding on to something or somebody's hiding something. And if they're hiding something, they're not going to get away with it, okay? And if you're in a relationship, don't go thinking, oh, they're cheating, okay? No, there's none of that, okay? That's not happening here. What's happening here is there's some sort of communication about something that is uncomfortable or some sort of problem that's occurred in some manner. This could be with anybody. It could be with coworkers, family. It could be friends. It could be siblings. Okay, it's with somebody. Okay, they're not expressing how they feel, or they are trying tactics that they're used to. Okay, so this is like a pattern of behavior. Okay, and we all develop patterns of behavior. You can go with nurture nature. Okay, some people don't believe in that. There is some truth to that. There's always an ounce of truth to everything. Okay, so somewhere along the line, you or somebody else picked up a pattern of behavior, and this pattern of behavior has worked for them in the past, but really it hasn't, because they're in a situation where they're now uncomfortable or they've caused some sort of with the High Priestess here, it would be an illusion, okay? But with the High Priestess here, okay, and that is a Taurus Cancer energy, it could also be seen as Pisces. You could throw Virgo in there because it's your opposite. Okay, Virgos are very good at seeing what's hidden. Okay, details. Okay, the smallest minute detail can just trigger Virgo into seeing very clearly of what's going on. Okay, so if somebody was trying something, and it does seem, I'm not gonna lie, it seems like a one-on-one situation here. So it's somebody that you have emotions or feelings towards. Um, However, there's something hidden here, and like we do have with the High Priestess in this conflict and challenges. Okay, there's lightning here. If you go into like philosophy or mythology, you can associate that with Zeus. So that's like Jupiter, okay, and it's also Saturn too, okay. There's Kronos, which is Zeus's father. So there's some sort of lesson here, and that's what I got. I got philosophy when I looked at that. Like the Zeus was coming to mind, okay, and very little, okay, something shocking will come through to put a change to this, okay, and I do feel like it's like some sort of it's some sort of manipulation, okay, and it doesn't have to be like on a level of awareness. Somebody might not be aware they're doing it, okay, and the other person is aware of it and they're not, okay, somebody's aware of it. Before I say what, like, the person who's doing it may very well be aware of it, okay, and if they are aware of it, okay, they're human first of all, so don't go punishing them or giving them the silent treatment, Virgo, okay. Virgos are the masters of the silent treatment, and they're busy as hell when they give the silent treatment. This is something that has to be discussed and is going to be uncomfortable. Like that energy is coming through here. It's for your higher good, though. It's for healing to take place. Okay, and for those of you in relationships, I want to get this out of the way before like people start associating it that are in loving relationships. Okay, what this is saying is that the arguments that are occurring in your relationships, and again, you can associate this within your family, but if you're having a romantic thing, it would be due to some sort of separation. Emotions are happening, and they're coming to the surface. And instead of people expressing how they truly feel, okay, with I am vulnerable, okay, because you are human, Virgo, okay? You have feelings. Yes, you are patient. Yes, you are caring. Yes, you are understanding, okay? But you got to throw yourself into that pot, all right? Like, you have emotions and feelings as well, okay? And you're human, which means you have faults, just as the other person has faults, okay? There's no such thing as perfect, Virgo. I know that's hard for some people to understand, but what one sees as normal or perfect, another person perceives as, odd or unorganized, okay? Like, everybody's perception of that is different, okay? What's normal to one is not normal to another, okay? So this is saying conflict is occurring because it's almost like you have these emotions and these feelings. So if you're hurt, okay, it's coming out as, or the other person is, it's coming out as anger, and that is fear coming out. Okay, so instead of discussing the actual issue of saying like, okay, this is what happened, this is how it makes me feel, and you really either like disrespected me or made me feel sad, angry, or whatever. Okay, that sounds corny, but I mean, it works. It's necessary. You have to express yourself and show that you are vulnerable. You're not Iron Man here, okay, Virgo? You're like, you got feeling and emotion. You're not a robot, all right? Like, if there's things, okay, like bothering you, you need to express it in a healthy way, not in an argument way. If there's arguments occurring, it's because there's things not being expressed properly. Okay? And then for those of you that are single and are interested in somebody, well, there's some sort of something being hidden. All right? And by something being hidden, it could be that the person's dealing with another person or hasn't gotten over emotions with another person. What I do feel like is that this person is quite soft on the inside. They portray like a strong exterior, and they're creating some sort of an illusion that you can see right through, Virgo. Like you can see right through it. Okay, so this could be like somebody's trying to make you compete for them. Okay, and the reason why they're trying to make you compete for them or give the appearance that they have others around is because, and if somebody's doing this to a Virgo, they're pretty stupid. They honestly are, because Virgo doesn't tolerate that. Virgo knows their value. Okay, like they're Beyonce. All right, and if you're a male, I gotta figure out a good male that's a Virgo. I mean, there's a speaker that's called. His name is Jay Shetty. He's a Virgo, I believe. Uh, they know their value. You can't manipulate a Virgo. They see through the detail. Okay, so but here's the thing, Virgo. If this person's doing it, they're doing it because they want you, and they don't know. Okay, that method worked for them in the past with other people. Uh, so it's like they're trying to make you. It's not that they want you to compete for them. They want you. They want attention from you. Like creating illusions in the process. They're not healthy the way that they're approaching this. Okay, and um, basically they're wearing their vulnerability on the outside. If you can perceive it like that, I don't know if you're going to perceive it like that though. Okay, and that could be hard for some people to understand. Okay, so it's like when people are angry and stuff like that, or when they're manipulating, they're showing their fear. When they're controlling, they're showing their fear on the outside. They're showing what they're fearful of happening. Okay, so if a person's controlling, well, they're fearful of not having control. Okay, like, and generally speaking, they don't have control, and they're living some sort of illusion where they're trying to make others perceive that they do have control, when really, like, control comes from the inside. Like, everybody understands things happen in life and you don't have control over everything. You do have control over the way you handle it though. Okay, I do feel like there's some sort of conflict with somebody. It could be a sibling or somebody. Okay, and it's due to secrets, something being hidden. Somebody's not expressing their emotion or how they feel. Or, okay, so it could be like, Virgo, it could be something simple as, okay, you're really busy. Okay, a lot of Virgos are really busy. Okay, and your spouse or your sister, your brother, your mother, whoever it is, they're used to you being around and doing things for them. So now you're not around all the time because you have all these things going on and that you have to do. And I feel like some of you, like, I'm seeing arrow shooting. So some of you have been like getting a lot of things that have just been coming out of you, like at you spontaneously. And Virgos are being a swan and elegantly handling it, but their feet are going a mile a minute. Okay. These people are used to you being around, taking care of things, and you're not around. So now they're attention seeking. So they may be causing fights and stuff like that because they want your attention. Like but they don't know how to say that it's like they don't know how to say that they miss you, or, that they just want to spend time with you. It's coming out the opposite direction. It's coming out as conflict. Okay. And then others of you, you have some sort of, when it comes to partnerships, okay, and I don't mean romantic partnerships. Okay, if you're romantically involved with somebody and you guys are signing a contract in some sort of sense here, you want to read that contract through. I don't feel like there's some sort of information, okay, that uh, you need to be careful about. Somebody's withholding some sort of information here, okay, and it could cause issues in your partnership, okay, and then some of you could even have people that are trying to interfere in your partnership. Okay, so this means like they're giving you faulty information. All right, they're planting seeds in your head to cause issues because they're unhappy. You have to realize people are going to project how they feel. Okay, It's like those people that are miserable all the time, but then suddenly they're in a relationship and everything's all rosy. Everything's like they're negative people, but then suddenly when things start going right in their life, they're optimistic and they're outgoing. You know what I mean? Their mindset changes, but then something occurs. It doesn't work out in that relationship anymore, and then you'll notice that they start projecting their insides again, where everything's negative. People are cheating. This and that's happening. Okay, well, that's a projection. That's what's happening. Like there's hidden details here. Like again, I'm getting your fears are heard as well as your prayers are heard. And you want to distinguish those two. They can be very hard to distinguish. There's some sort of information that somebody's putting in front of you that's going to cause an illusion in a partnership or prevent a partnership from coming together. This could be if you have a business together and you've hired a lawyer. Okay, well, the lawyer might not be doing his job properly. He could miss details. So this is like getting second opinions and third opinions. If you're looking into leasing a place, well, there could be some damage inside the place that you're not aware of. So you want to ensure that if you see it, it's written down in the contract and it's written down that they're going to fix it. There's some sort of hidden detail. I don't feel like the detail is like between you and your partner personally. If you're romantically linked, it's not between the two of you personally. Okay? This means like couples that are together. Somebody is withholding something though. Virgos, you have nothing to be concerned about because with the High Priestess here, I'm feeling like this is you guys going to see through any illusions that are happening. Okay, and you're going to have compassion towards these other people. All right, like but definitely what you need to show is that you're vulnerable. So if there's arguments occurring, well then okay, well, instead of like arguing back or giving the silent treatment, usually Virgos don't argue back. Okay, like there's a point that comes where Virgos snap and they Lord help the person that happens to. Because similar to a Sag, truth starts dropping. But they get like, with a Virgo, it's because they know all the details that, their truth comes out in a different way where it's like there's no escaping it. All right. Like there's no escaping it when a Virgo comes at you. Okay. They have the details. A Virgo sits back and observes, and they do not come forward to you until they have all the information. So, I mean, Virgo is like a lawyer in that manner. You can't get around them. All right. Like at that point, there's no politics happening. All right, it's exposure happening. You don't want it to get to that point, Virgo. Okay, it might have to make things change. It might have to. If it does, good on you. But what it's saying, okay, is that you have to be able to express yourself, break this pattern. Okay, so if two people live at a distance between each other, well, usually arguments will start to occur because emotions are running high. Okay, and why are the emotions running high? Because all you want to do is be with the person, but you can't be with the person. So arguments start occurring because there's no outlet for your positive emotions to go. So you can't express your positive emotions. Okay, so this is like, instead of getting upset, it's like, baby, I miss you. Okay, it's that simple. Okay, or like crying about it if you have to, like just cry about it. It's not that big of a deal. You have to show you're vulnerable, because if you don't show you're vulnerable, the opposite's going to occur, and the very situation that you were trying to avoid, you're going to create. This can even be with your children. Okay, like general reading, you got to apply it where it goes. Okay, at work, you definitely want to do your Virgo thing, step back, observe. Okay, arguments can be occurring. There's competition happening. You see right through everything, and you got nothing to worry about. For those of you doing creative projects, you want to ensure that like all your I's and T's are crossed and dotted. And you want to be careful with who you partner up with. If you're partnering up with people, contracts, okay? And thoroughly reading those contracts. Just like, I get this thing here, Virgo, whatever you're doing, you need more than one opinion on. You can't go by one opinion. You need at least, I'd say a minimum of 2, but personally I would go with 3. Okay? Because 2 of those people could have the same perspective. The third could have a different perspective, which is going to provide some clarity. Doesn't mean that each one of them are wrong or right. Okay, you may be able to combine what the 3 of them say and see very differently. You'll see what's hidden. Okay. Those of you that are single that are interested in somebody, this man or woman, they would be the high priestess. Okay. Uh, which means they have significant Cancer or Taurus in the chart. Uh, a strong Pisces placement. Also, some of you guys could have a lot happening. Okay, positive. I'm still getting this. Like a lot positively happening for you, and you're gonna get some haters. I'm sorry, Virgo, but there are gonna be some haters that are going to try to cause interference because they don't want to see you leveling up. Scorpio had this, I think, last in February. They were leveling up, and people didn't like it. Okay, so they were coming in. This can also mean that some people, Virgo, let's be honest here, like I got a Virgo rising. I do have strong Earth in my chart. I have some Capricorn placements, I think 2 of them. And I have Taurus, so I am a realist. And I do have Sag Sun and Sag Mercury, so, they're pretty logical. Uh, you may have some people coming at you for the wrong things because of the way you look or because of what you can do for them. Okay? So you want to ensure that you're slow and you sit back and you observe, okay? And then some of you could be after a person that others are after as well. And if that's the case, Virgo, just walk away because you know your value, right? You're not, and if you're dealing with a Virgo, or you're interested in a Virgo, Virgos don't tolerate that, all right? Just telling you right now. You make a Virgo try to question, or fight for you. A Virgo will fight for you if they're your partner or a friend, okay? But if you're gonna make them compete, you got another thing coming. Virgo's gonna serve you some karma. Virgos are classy the way they do it too. There's a little bit of like the days of our lives theme happening here, Virgo. You do need to focus on communication though. And that could be an issue because Mercury's going retrograde. I'm trying to get these out earlier. But the thing is, I kind of feel like this Mercury retrograde may be a very good positive for you because things are going to come to light. So people's true emotions, true feelings, the way they feel, that's going to come out. Is not going to come out in a positive light. It can come out in an aggressive manner. But what it's going to do, it's going to reset it here. It's like, it's going to cause change for the positive. It may be uncomfortable while it's happening, but it is going to make changes for the positive. What you need to grow is, okay, it's like, it says I'm calm, okay, so, and then you have partnerships, taking risks, new phases, and adventures. So this is getting out of your comfort zone again, and it's like going back to what I was saying earlier, okay, taking risks, okay, new adventures, new phases. So it's like the way things have been done before, you can't do it now. So if you're used to like instead of confronting a person when an issue comes up and you're the type that gives the silent treatment, okay, well then this is asking you to confront them. This is also saying that, it's telling you right here, it may not go well when you do it, but that's to be expected when it's something foreign to you, when you're not used to doing things that way. Okay? That's to be expected. So don't get hard on yourself. Okay, it'll get better over time, and each time you do it, it'll get a little easier, and your communication, the way you communicate, will become a little bit better, and you'll be more thorough in the way that you handle things. But it is saying that it's a new phase. You got to do things differently. So it's like with your children, if you're used to like letting them do whatever they want, well then it's saying, okay, well that's causing conflict. Now you need to ensure that they have chores and stuff like that. If you're the type of parent that has your child in a lot of activities and things like that, that's great. But your child may need some time where your child could just be a child, be at home, and because I'm getting like a kid that may have too much on their plate. It's like you don't want them to grow up too quickly, All right. It's working on partnerships and foundations. Also, for somebody that my nose just got really itchy. If your partner lives at a distance, this is partnership. Uh, and then, you got mountains here. Okay, your relationship is positive. Don't worry about anything. If people are like feeding you faulty information, well, then, again, that goes back to projection. If people haven't done the healing work, you'll see that come through. Okay? They'll project how they feel on the inside. What people say and do, you got to align the two, right? If your partner lives at a distance, you guys are coming together. Like, you got a happy-go-lucky like relationship. It's positive. So those of you that separated in the past and you came back together, it's going to be good. Also, some of you Virgos, okay, you're highly sensitive towards this energy because it's Mercury retrograde. Usually during Mercury retrograde, a lot of breakups happen. They're not permanent. You always get back together. Okay, and if the breakup happens, it's because there's some sort of issue or conflict that wasn't being dealt with. Mercury going retrograde will bring that up to the surface. Okay, and it's going to bring it up to the surface. So if you're avoiding something, well, like, I mean, I hate to break it to you, Mercury retrograde is going to bring that to the surface. There's no avoiding it. So you can either try your best to bring it to the surface yourself, or you can just wait for the universe to do it. It's usually best if you try yourself. And if you try and a breakup happens, you'll get back together. You do need to grow, like, you need to take new chances, Virgo. You need to try new things. So this means, like, okay, maybe some of you don't have hobbies, and this is like, well, you need to go out there and adventure a little bit and try new things to try to find a hobby, because you don't know what you like until you try it. Some of you could be fantastic writers. Like, some of you may enjoy biking. Some of you may enjoy hiking. Okay, if you haven't tried those things, like, try it. Okay, this is also saying getting a friend or somebody together to go to paint night. If you have children, you could be doing things with your children, like taking them out, because when you have children, you need to understand that your children become your canvas. Okay, so how you are is going to be, in some aspect, how your children become. So if you're like, for an example, for myself, okay, I'm 33, I constantly am taking courses and things like that. That's not just a coincidence. Okay, that's not just because I'm a Sag Sun with a Sag Mercury. I'm curious as hell, and I got a Virgo rising. Okay, that's not because I like to study and stuff like that. I actually find studying overwhelming. That is because my father had shown me that. Okay, like, as I was a kid, from the time I was like I can remember, 3, 6, 10, 12, even when I got in my 20s. And even when I hit 30, my father constantly went back to college and university, upgraded for, like, as times were changing, he knew that he had to be up to date. Okay, so, like, he had to get out of his comfort zone. As somebody who's older, it can be hard to take computer courses. You know what I mean? He did that. He knew that technology was going to advance. So when I was a kid, he went and took a computer course. Okay, like, he understood new equipment was coming out, machinery was coming out, and that was going to be, taking over in the industry he was working in. So he went and he started studying programming and stuff like that. Okay, well, it was a constant thing. Okay, but by him doing that, that set an example for his children. Okay, and we were never discouraged or second guessed or thought, I'm too old to go back to school. No, because we were showing that whatever age you are, if you don't know something, go back and learn it. If you're interested in something, go and learn it. Get the education for it. Okay? It was showing to us. Okay? Like, that was just, again, nurture nature. All right, like, so what you want your kids to become, you have to show them that. So, like, if you want them to be adventurous and you don't want them to be fearful, you have to show them that. If you have some sort of fear, okay, and your child has a fear, Well, then you need to go show them that you're going to break your fear. So do you have a fear of heights? Okay, that's quite common. You can go do something like zip lining. All right, I know that would be terrifying for somebody with heights. But at the end of it, you would see that it's not that big of a deal. You survived. And if you bring your kid with you, you would be showing, because they have, I'm not sure like what areas you all live in, but they do have zip lining that's, not as high up. It's lower down and it's family oriented, family based, where kids can go and they can do it. And, it's kind of like, it reminds me of Star Wars. A little, they got like a little like community where you like got bridges and stuff you walk on, and quite cool. But you could show to your child that you overcome your fear. That's going to implement a pattern in their future, that they're going to, when they come to a fear state of mind, they're going to take that leap of faith and break their fear, because you as a parent showed them, okay, fear is nothing more than an illusion. All right. You want your child to be a healthy eater? Well, okay, you have to be a healthy eater. Okay. You want your child to be more carefree? Then you have to be more carefree. Hopefully that makes sense. Your child will be whatever image you paint them to be, and that's going to be a reflection on you. So, uh, everybody talks about soulmates, but in life, soulmates come in all forms. Okay, I don't deal with the one-on-one love relationship on YouTube. It's not my thing. I believe it's predator prey. Okay, that's just my opinion. For others, it could be different. All right, and we're all entitled to our own opinions. Soulmates come in all forms. Your child is a soul tie to you, okay? Because soulmates help you grow, all right? So you're going to help your child grow, but your child's also going to help you grow, all right? What do you want your child to see out there in the world? What do you want your child to create out there in the world, okay? And once you figure that out, well, then you have to do that work. It's not your child's just not just going to do it. You have to do the work to build that painting, okay? So you got to pick up the paintbrush and have the tools, do it. Hopefully that makes sense. I got a Sag Mercury, so like things don't come out, like a Gemini. You have positive partnerships here. This is like getting out, adventuring, meeting new friends. Okay, like there's lots of. I feel like for you guys, you need physical activity. You need physical activity, Virgo. Okay, and physical activity, if you're overthinking things, is going to be what stops you from thinking. When you're doing, you don't think. Okay, so you need to do. All right, to stop the thinking. It's pretty simple. You just need to do. What you need to do, I don't know. Like, this is a general reading. I'm just telling you the energies I'm picking up and the feelings I'm getting. All right? And then for your chakra, you have this here. And it's blue. And again, it's coming down to your throat. Okay? It's expressing yourself, Virgo. If you make mistakes and you fail, that's part of life. That's how you grow, you learn, and you develop. So like in your communication, if you make a mistake with it, it's not that big of a deal. You grow and you develop from it. Okay, so maybe you're dealing with a person right now and you're single, and this is just the universe giving you practice to handle situations for the next person that comes along. All right, because you'll know from the errors here what to do and what not to do, and then when the next person comes, you're improved. All right, you got that under control. But your vulnerability is not a weakness, okay? That's a strength, okay? If you're trying to presume that you're powerful all the time or somebody is around you, well then, okay, again, they're projecting on the outside. They're quite vulnerable and they don't show it, okay? So their weakness is being shown to you. Like, it doesn't mean you take advantage of it. I mean, you got to have compassion for the person. And on the back, I'll show it to you guys. You can pause it. The number is 34. Yeah, I don't have nails anymore, you guys. I kind of miss them. I'm a baker. You can't have them. Okay, so what it says is keep saying what's in your heart. Yeah, so again, I am vulnerable. If you're feeling misunderstood, resist the urge to talk yourself out of your feelings. Slow down. The words will come from your heart. The more you understand yourself, the more you will feel understood. Communication from deep in your heart has the power to move mountains. Expressing the truth you find in your heart will set you free and inspire others to set themselves free. And again, you have that fits very well with your reading. Uh, you have this taking risks, new adventures, okay? This uplifting, coming together, okay? But you have this separation between the two of you. Something that's not being spoken that needs to be spoken about, okay? And Virgos quite often want to keep the peace. They don't like to get things unbalanced, similar to a Libra, until they have all the facts and the details, okay? And this might be a scenario, Virgo, that you might not be able to do that, okay? Because the facts and the details are things that you can't see because they're within you, okay? It's a pattern of behavior that needs to change within you, all right? And that could be uncomfortable or something you don't recognize. And I mean, that's completely normal. Again, no such thing as normal, but when you're inside a situation, it's hard to see clearly. It's when you're outside the situation, you can see things from a clearer perspective. You have all the information and the detail. When you're inside of it, you can't because you're emotionally wrapped up in it. Okay, but if you have emotions, you got to express it because you're holding on to them. And that's going to cause harm. That's not going to improve the situation any. All right? Like, that can even be with your children and stuff like that. It's like kissing them, like bedtime stories, going for walks after dinner, maybe playing a friendly game of soccer with the family on the weekend or something, having a picnic, going through walks in the park, family bike rides. Okay, there's motivation, getting outdoors. You don't have children or a family, well, then you do that with your friends. Your friends are your family. Okay, if you don't, you need a new set of friends, well, then you need to start going out and adventuring to meet new people. All right, because you could have some, I'm seeing some a scale first of all, but I'm seeing like a door shutting and other ones opening. So people are going to be removed from your life that no longer serve you, and others are going to come in their place. They're not just going to pop up in front of you. You got to do the work. You got to put the effort in. Your creative abilities and stuff like that. Okay, well, if you're not vulnerable, well, then that's going to be your weakness. Okay, if you're trying to control the outcome of something, you're going to do the complete opposite. You got to let things flow. You can't control it. It's got to flow. All right. So that means like the things that you're concerned about that are hidden that you don't know. Well, it's supposed to be like that. Sucks for Virgo. It sucks for anybody, but I got Virgo rising, man. I don't like stuff that I don't know where, it annoys the crap out of me. There's no turning into Inspector Gadget here. All right. Like if you're trying to figure things out, you're going to end up like Inspector Gadget. Like usually Sages are Inspector Gadget. Because they got to learn things through experience. So I mean, they can't figure things out. Well, they can, but like things usually go awry because they have to learn through experience. But you guys, if you try to do your Virgo thing, you're going to turn into Inspector Gadget, and we all know that Inspector Gadget, okay, Penny ends up saving him all the time. When he tries to do things alone, it doesn't go right. All right, like you may need a second person. You need some sort of help. Even if you're in a healthy relationship, going to a counselor and talking about things, that helps. It prevents problems from occurring before it happens. All right. And some of you, like if you are going to counseling, then you need to ensure that the person you're going to, you're comfortable with. And they might have to be unorthodox, which means like, because you're spiritual, you could be religious as well. You need somebody who's non-judgmental, okay? So somebody who understands things from multiple perspectives, okay, and keeps that into account, all right? All right, you guys, hopefully this reading helped you out. I will talk to you next month. If I do have extra time, I highly doubt it, I will try to get out something for the end of March. But for right now, I'm just trying to focus on getting these all out for next month, just because I'm busy as hell. I gotta figure things out. Everything in my chart's being activated at once. It's fun, but it's stressful. So hopefully everybody has a fantastic month. You're gonna do great. Good things are coming towards you, Virgo. Any negative, you need to turn that into a positive. All right. Go with the flow. Don't try to control things, because when you try to control things for this month, it can even start taking place in March. Okay, because energies are fluid, and I am doing this in March. Things might go awry. Okay, and if that's the way it goes, well, then that's the way it's supposed to go, and things will turn out the way they're supposed to. All right, so don't worry. Go out, have some fun, stay calm. I do want you guys to have some fun though. All right, like sing, dance, be silly. Even if it's by yourself, that's by yourself. Your vibration needs to be elevated, and dancing can be a very healing energy for that, and also protecting energy. All right, you guys, namaste, and talk to you next month. Ciao for now.